Today we're diving into something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right beneath our feet. We're talking about Earth's seismic time bomb. Sounds intense, right? But what if I told you the trigger might not be on Earth at all, but millions of miles away in space? We're going to connect the dots between giant space rocks, massive solar flares, and the ground shaking beneath us. So let's start with the basics. You know about earthquakes, right? Tectonic plates, those massive slabs of rock that make up Earth's crust, are constantly grinding against each other. When the stress gets too much, they slip, and boom, an earthquake. But here's the wild part. What if something from space could give these plates an extra violent nudge? First up, comet impacts. Imagine a city-sized snowball, a mix of ice, dust, and rock, screaming through space at thousands of miles per hour. If one of these were to hit Earth, the initial impact would be catastrophic, obviously. We're talking about an explosion that would make any bomb in history look like a firecracker. But the devastation doesn't stop there. The sheer force of this impact would send shockwaves rippling through the entire planet. Think of it like hitting a gong with a giant hammer. The planet would literally ring. These seismic waves would travel through the Earth's crust, mantle, and core, delivering a massive jolt to already stressed-out tectonic plates. Fault lines that were stable for centuries just waiting for that final push could suddenly rupture. So one impact could trigger a global cascade of earthquakes, almost like a planetary chain reaction. This isn't just about the one big boom at the impact site. It's about waking up every sleeping giant on the planet, all at once. Now, let's shift our gaze from comets to our very own star, the Sun. The Sun is mostly our friend, giving us light and warmth, but sometimes it has a temper tantrum. These are called coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. A CME is a colossal eruption of plasma and magnetic fields from the Sun's corona, its outer atmosphere. We're talking about billions of tons of solar material being hurled into space at incredible speeds. When a CME is aimed at Earth, it's like a cosmic hurricane hitting our planet's magnetic shield, the magnetosphere. This shield protects us, but a powerful CME can punch through, causing what's known as a geomagnetic storm. You've probably heard of these causing beautiful auroras, the northern and southern lights, but a really strong one can do a lot more damage. It can fry power grids, knock out satellites, and disrupt communications. But here's the mind-bending connection to earthquakes. Some scientists are investigating a link between these powerful geomagnetic storms and seismic activity. The theory is called piezoelectricity. It's a known property of certain crystals like quartz, which is super common in Earth's crust. When you squeeze a quartz crystal, it generates an electric voltage. The reverse is also true. If you apply a strong electric field to it, it deforms or changes shape. Now imagine this on a planetary scale. During a massive geomagnetic storm, huge electrical currents are induced in the Earth's crust. If these currents flow through large quartz-rich rock formations along a tectonic fault line, the piezoelectric effect could cause those rocks to deform, contract, or expand. It might only be by a tiny amount, but in a fault line that's already under immense stress and on the verge of slipping, that tiny little jiggle could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It could be the final trigger that sets off a major earthquake. So we have two cosmic culprits, a direct, brutal punch from a comet, and a more subtle electromagnetic nudge from the Sun. Both could potentially tip the scales and unleash the stored-up energy in our planet's crust. Now, before you start building a bunker, let's put this into perspective. A major comet impact is an extremely rare event, happening on a timescale of millions of years. NASA and other space agencies are constantly tracking near-Earth objects to give us a heads up. We're getting better and better at this. The Chicxulub impact that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago was a planet killer, and something of that scale is incredibly unlikely in our lifetime. CMEs, on the other hand, are much more common. The Sun goes through an 11-year cycle of activity, and we're currently heading towards a solar maximum, meaning more solar flares and CMEs are expected. The link between CMEs and earthquakes is still a cutting-edge area of research. It's not a confirmed, universally accepted fact like plate tectonics. It's a fascinating hypothesis that scientists are working hard to prove or disprove. They're analyzing historical data, looking for correlations between major geomagnetic storms and large earthquakes. The challenge is that Earth is a very noisy place, seismically speaking. Thousands of earthquakes happen every day. So, finding a clear signal, proving that a specific solar storm caused a specific earthquake, is incredibly difficult. It's like trying to hear one person's whisper in a packed, screaming stadium. But what this research really highlights is how interconnected our planet is with the wider cosmos. We often think of Earth as this isolated blue marble, but it's not. We are constantly being influenced by events in our solar system. We're floating in a cosmic shooting gallery subject to the whims of our parent star. Understanding these connections is vital. If the link between CMEs and quakes is proven, it could revolutionize earthquake forecasting. Imagine getting a warning a few days in advance, based on a solar forecast from NASA. That could give us time to shut down critical infrastructure like nuclear power plants and natural gas lines, and for people to get to safer locations. It would be a game changer for saving lives. So what are we looking at? A comet impact is the planetary sledgehammer, a rare but devastating event that could trigger a global seismic crisis. A powerful CME is the subtle electromagnetic trigger, a more frequent possibility that might be giving already strained fault lines the final push they need to slip. Earth's seismic time bomb isn't just one bomb, it's thousands of them, scattered along fault lines all over the globe. And the triggers might just be written in the stars. It's a reminder that the ground beneath us isn't as solid as it seems, and that the quiet sky above us holds more power than we can imagine. The universe is a dynamic, sometimes violent place, and we are right in the middle of it. The work being done to understand these cosmic threats is crucial for the future of our civilization. It's not about fear, it's about knowledge and preparation. Thanks so much for hanging out and exploring this cosmic mystery with me. It's some pretty heavy stuff, but super fascinating, right? If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about the crazy universe we live in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is the CME earthquake link real? Drop your thoughts below. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.